What's up, everybody? This is Matty Mo, and today we're going to be installing Windows 10 Technical Preview. This is the build that was announced earlier this week and has all the latest and greatest updates such as Cortana, a new start menu, along with some really cool new looking icons. So before I install Windows 10 Technical Preview, I just want to mention a few things. The first thing is that I'm going to be using a virtualization manager to install Windows 10. I'm going to be using VirtualBox, which is a free tool from Oracle. It works with PC, Mac, and Linux. So I'm going to leave the link down below so that you guys can download VirtualBox if you don't have a virtual manager to install Windows on. I really don't suggest installing this as your main daily driver, as it is still very buggy and you don't want to lose any sensitive data that you have on your computer. So with that being said, I'm going to put the link down below for the VirtualBox from Oracle, along with the link to download the ISO file of Windows 10 Technical Preview. Once you guys have downloaded that, you can go ahead and follow along as we're going to start off from installing Windows 10 using VirtualBox. So the first thing we need to do is click on New at the top left-hand corner of the Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. After you click on New, a menu will pop up. Once that menu pops up, go ahead and select the version of the build that you're installing. There's obviously no Windows 10, so we're going to select Windows 8.1 64-bit if you're using a 64-bit version. For the name, you can make it anything you want, but I'm going to type in Windows 10 Technical Preview. After you do that, click Next, and we got to change the memory size. Do not go lower than 2 gigabytes. But I'm going to throw it up to 4 because I think 4 will obviously make it run a lot better. Click Next, and then select Create a Virtual Hard Drive Now, and then click Create. After you click Create, it's going to ask you for a hard drive file type. Just leave it on the default and click Next, and then you can either do a fixed size or dynamically allocated. If you do dynamically allocated, it will get bigger as you install more stuff. I threw it up to 50 gigabytes, but as long as you have about 30 gigabytes, you should be okay to install it with lots of room to spare. Select the location you want to save the file, click OK, and then click Create. So now that we have our VirtualBox created, we actually need to install Windows 10. But before we can do that, we have to set up where our storage location is going to be. So the first thing we need to do is select the VirtualBox, and right above it, you're going to click on the Settings button. Select Storage on the left-hand side of the menu, and right below Controller IDE, you should see something that says Host Drive. Select Host Drive, and on the right-hand side where it says CD DVD Drive under Attributes, there's a little disk with an arrow pointing down. Click on that and then choose a virtual CD DVD disk file. You're going to select the ISO file that you downloaded from Microsoft and click OK. And after you've clicked OK, click OK again to dismiss the window. Make sure that the VirtualBox is still selected and click the Start button right above it. Once you click that button, a new window will appear and it'll take you right into the Setup menu for Windows 10. Now that we're in the first Setup menu, go ahead and select whatever language that you want to select. Just remember though that Cortana only works with English, so leave it on the defaults if you want to use Cortana. Go ahead and click Next, and then after that, another menu will appear asking you to install Windows. Select Install Now. After that, setup will begin starting up. The next menu will ask you to accept the license terms. Go ahead and do that. Click OK or Next, and then after that, you'll be brought up to the Windows Setup menu. Do not select Upgrade unless you're upgrading from Windows 8 or Windows 7. If you're doing this as a VirtualBox, you want to select Custom Install Windows Only, as this is a fresh install of the whole operating system. So go ahead and select Custom Install Windows Only and click Next. So now you have to select the hard drive where you want Windows to install to. So obviously we set this up earlier when we allocated space for this installation. So go ahead and select Drive 0 and then click on Next. Once you do that, it's going to start installing Windows and copying all the Windows files over. So obviously it's going to take some time, maybe 10-15 minutes, depending on how fast your computer is. So go ahead and pause the video here until your installation is done, because I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this to show you guys what it looks like after the installation is complete. So now that you've done all the bulk of the copying and installing, there's a few things left to do. The first thing is it's going to ask you whether you want to customize or select Express Settings. I went ahead and just selected Express Settings to make this video go a little bit faster, but it's totally up to you if you want to customize and play around with it a little bit. So select Express Settings, and then the next screen, it'll take you to set up your Microsoft account. So after you've entered your Microsoft account information, it's going to ask you to enter your email address again, and then it's going to send you a verification code to your email. Grab that verification code and go ahead and type it in, and then click on Next. Once you've clicked on Next, it's going to finalize a few settings, and then once that's done, you should be booted up into the Windows 10 desktop. So there's a few cool things about Windows 10 that was announced earlier on the week, or last week rather. First things first is Cortana. It's at the bottom left-hand corner. If you just click on the microphone, I can say, "Hi, weather." And it's going to go ahead and show me the weather here in Toronto. So, I mean, that's in Fahrenheit. I wish it was 30 degrees here Celsius. That would be fantastic, but it's actually -10, which is really cold. But anyways, that's another story. Other things include a brand new start menu, which looks really, really cool. This looks so much better than Windows 8. There's no longer that disjointed feeling of going back and forth between the modern UI and the desktop. So other things include the ability to actually resize modern UI apps right on your desktop instead of getting transferred to that whole modern UI screen, which is a big relief. So for example, I'm just gonna load up the weather app. I can go ahead and resize this however I see fit. It's a little slow right now, but it works, you get the point. And then once that's open up, you can go ahead and look at the weather. Now, other things include the ability to look at new icons under the File Explorer, which I think is pretty cool. It's a welcome addition. It looks a lot more clean. I'm not sure if these are the final icons that they'd be including, but they already look a lot better. Now, other things include quick access to all your programs in one place. So you have all your apps right here in the menu, along with other cool features. You can explore everything on the right side by scrolling up and down, and you have the power button right in the actual start menu as well, which is very convenient as opposed to switching out to in Windows 8 and then looking for it on the top right hand corner. And of course, you have your typical old stuff. You can go to your custom control panel any way you want. So the control panel is pretty cool because it's just the control panel. There's no longer modern UI settings that are separate from it. Everything's merged into one area. You also have the new notification center on the right with your quick access settings down on the bottom right where you can toggle things on or off. Now, of course, I can go ahead and switch this between tablet mode and not, depending on what type of device you're using. This is the whole new continuum thing that Microsoft was talking about. It'll automatically adjust to touch input devices, but obviously I'm not using that. So those are just basically a few things about Windows 10. A lot of this you can explore for yourself. I want to know what you guys think of Windows 10 so far in the comments below. So far, I like it a lot. I'm really impressed with what Microsoft's doing. Let me know in the comments below what you think. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to give it a thumbs up if you did. And don't forget to subscribe to see more amazing videos like this one. And I'll see everybody in the next one.